Okay, hi you guys. I said I was going to come back and make another video. I was trying to do a live, but it just didn't work out that way. I don't know what happened. Maybe because I wasn't at home and I was trying to do it in my car, and sometimes the internet in my car is not the best. I honestly don't even know why I even pay for that, because I could be using it for something else. Because it's not very effective, and most places now have Wi-Fi hotspots that I can connect to everywhere. So excuse me if I'm like moving different places. I am walking my dog. um but I wanted to talk to you guys about um sideway friends, okay? And you might want to ask yourself, what is a sideway friend? um a lot of people, when they think of sideway friends, they used to call them two-faced. And when I say that, meaning being one way one time and another way the next time. Being nice to you one way, when you're by yourself, and when they're around a certain group of people, they're a totally different person. So that is what I called a sideway friend. A sideway friend doesn't mean that they're really disrespectful. Or, well, I won't say rude, because it is disrespectful. They're rude. They're not rude, but they're disrespectful. That's what it is. They're not rude, but they're disrespectful. Like I said, meaning that one minute they'll be honoring you, they'll be saying you're the best person. Not only that, they'll act like they want to be around you, want to know what's going on with you, and even participate in some of the activities that you're doing, trying to keep a connection with you. And then in the same breath, when someone else comes that they think has a better influence, or they like more, or they have a better, they prefer them over you, then they're gonna turn and discard you and be friendly and do all the things that you were doing, they were doing with you, to do with them. And not only that, I mean totally discard you, as if, especially if the person they're with and they're trying to be with does not like you. Okay? I had that happen yesterday, and it was so amazing to me because, first of all, I'll tell you this: God works in mysterious ways, and God is so real. Like, when He lives inside of you, you can see something about. He'll tell you something that you cannot see, and it'll come out miles away. Now, I had an instance where God revealed some things to me about this person, not only this person, but a group of people, and how I was supposed to keep my distance. Now, me, being the stubborn person I am, kept my distance for a short period of time, and then slowly launched myself back into having relationship with these people, having conversations and outings and things like that. And God would slowly remind me, like, something is off, something is not right, stay away. And I prayed about it some more, and then eventually it was to the point where not only was I started beginning to stay away, but they were pushing themselves away. Like, God had it, and that was God's blessing for them to start pushing themselves away. So after that, I found out later by someone else, there were like instances where, I'm going to say hearsay because I didn't hear it out the person's mouth, but I want to say that I'm quite certain it sounds like the personality of this person, because I've seen her firsthand do this to someone else. And this was one of the reasons why I stepped back from her. So I heard from another individual that this person was like spreading a lot of lies and saying real bad things about me. And it was just very, very horrible. Did it hurt? Yeah, but it was almost like, it was like confirmation. So even though it stung a little bit because I didn't listen, I didn't fully listen to God, but it was confirmation that what was told to me was true, so I kept my distance, and I also just cut off everything that was connected to it. When you have a disease, or when you have something that's toxic, or fungus, anything that's like killing you, something, like a cancer or something, or some kind of disease, it grows. So not only do you have to, in order to remove it, you have to cut it off at the source and remove all the excess tissue that was damaged around it, because it's damaged goods, and it has the potential, even though you knock the thing out at its source, if you keep some of the twigs there and some of the branches and some of the leaves there, it can grasp and take up root, and it can bring back that same negativity, or bring back that same negative energy. So like I said, I got rid of that person out of my life as best as I could. Not only that, I limited my time with the people that were connected to this person, because I saw that these entities and these people were kind of like assistants in aiding in toxic maneuvers. So one of them I still had, like I said, it was limited, but I didn't totally cut one of them off, and I should have. And the one that I didn't cut off was because I had so much of a connection to that one. It was like, okay, well, she's been nice, and and I explained to her the situation, what I found out, and her thing was like, okay, I'm gonna stay away from it and just be neutral. But later I found out it wasn't neutral, it wasn't neutral at all. And on top of that, it was just saying I'm being neutral. What really happened behind the scenes was I'm being neutral to you, but I'm sticking with the other individual, even though I know what was said and what was done about you or on your behalf was not true and was not of your character. I choose, because this is basically what this individual was doing, because they were still going out with this person, they were still being nice to this person, saying all nice things while this person is saying bad things. Other people are telling me they're saying bad things, but this person is in the vicinity and is not saying anything. So yeah, so I come out, and oh yeah, we had the fire drill. Yeah, so we had this fire drill at come on, China. We had this fire drill at where I live at, and I ended up walking across and seeing them, and it was like I waved at her, and it was just like this same person was just like I was not there when everybody was around. However, when she got by herself, it was like, okay, now I can talk to you. And it was just like, okay, it gave me that red flash. Okay, then what are you? You are a sideways friend, You want to have all these conversations with me. You want to act like you our friends are still friends and really good with me, because you still want to have the benefits that come along with me, and to look like you're all the helpy or the nice person and the peacemaker. But in reality, you just want to get what you want. You want to get what you want. So and I noticed that was a sideways friend. So when I got back in the house, I immediately cut off the ties. I didn't say anything bad. I didn't even speak anything, because there were honestly no words to speak. And I'm going to give you some tips on how to deal with sideways people or sideways friends, because they're really not friends. They're just people that are in your vicinity that you don't understand are really enemies, okay? But first of all, back to that. Since I said that's the number one thing. The first thing I want you to understand, a sideways friend is an enemy. That is like the second worst type of enemy you can have, because a sideway friend is a person that can get very, very close to you. They know the ins and the outs of you for the most part. They know some of those things that most people don't know. It doesn't mean that they know everything, but a lot of them do, because they stand real close. They always want to know some things. They want to always act like they are caring, okay? So when they're doing that and they're turning around and either they're not standing up for you or taking a stand on how they view you or what they're going to say about you, understand that they're talking about you too. If they're not saying that I'm not going to partake in this and make it very clear to both parties, then understand that they are talking about you. If they are slowing down their communication with you, and you guys, they're still doing all the other stuff together, it's don't feel bad. Don't, not to say that that's a horrible thing, that people are still moving and going on about their lives, because everyone has a life. Not saying that. But if they're constantly keeping you out of the loop, understand that their loyalty is not with you. It's probably not even with the person that they're with, but that person to them seems like the stronger person. So don't take it lightly, but don't take it personally. Just understand that you need to keep your distance. The best way, which brings me to the next part, the best way to deal with those type of people is to give them distance. You want to not gray rock them, because people who are very intimate with you, they know when you are upset, and they know when you are angry, or when you are trying to isolate yourself and not have that conversation with them. You don't want to do that, because most of these people, I will tell you, if you have a backstabbing or sideways friend person like that, you have to keep in mind, these people, some of them collect information, and they have a lot of information on you. So you don't know if they're going to try to use it against you or anything. And that's not the whole purpose of this. You just want to have some distance, and you want to have peace and not discord in your life. So my advice to you is don't go gray rock. They know that. When they see someone, they just not paying attention. Oh, okay, well, that's good. All right, bye. What you want to do is match their energy. And what do I mean by matching their energy? If they say something happy, be happy for them. Like, okay, I'm happy for you. Okay, well, congratulations. You can ask them a little bit of questions. You don't have to ask a lot. If they're sad, match that energy. Oh, I'm so sorry that happened. Match their energy. That way, they're not going to take a hold of you. A lot of those people, you don't even know how much life you're giving to these people. And once they see that you're not dealing with their mess and their crap, because these people are doing this on purpose because of control. You're thinking, everybody thinks about the narcissists, but we don't think about the people, the parasites that are with them, that are aiding them. They can't go on without having the aid of others to help them, and if you, like I said, if you want to target and you want to get rid of that toxicity, you have to get rid of everything. You have to get rid of everything, not part of it, not just the main part, not just the meat surrounding it. You got to get rid of all of it. All of it? All of it. Okay? So yeah, match their energy. Another thing you're going to do when you match their energy, and it's almost the same thing, it's mirroring. And I know a lot of people are like, the narcissist, I hate that word, the narcissist or the toxic person mirrors, they try to mimic and they do that. Yes, they do. And that's something that you need to learn, okay? Because energy is not lost nor gained. It's just transferred. It's transferred from one entity to the next. You know, you learn that in the first steps of chemistry, in the first steps of physics. You learn that. And you learn that in high school. I don't know. Well, some people don't have chemistry. I was in advanced classes, so I had it like 8th grade kind of stuff like that. But that's the first fundamental facts. Those are the fundamental things. So, you don't want to give off any of your life force to any person that is willing to suck you dry or to not value your energy, because your energy is important. What you have to say is important. What your feelings are important. The longer you stay around people who do that, and most people who do that to other people, they don't value themselves. They don't value themselves. I promise you. Those people usually, and not to be funny and not to be stereotypical, I want y'all to look at these people. Most of the people who are like codependent and I want to say codependent as they're so toxic, because there are some codependent people who are just trapped and stuck, you know, but I'm saying codependent as a form of they already took on the N-word. They done already went to the dark side. You know, they're usually burdened down. They're very heavy. They're not happy about their lives. You know, they can point out everybody else's flaws, but they can't point out their own flaws and the own things that they need to work on. They always talk about what they want to work on, but they never, or what they're going to do, but they never follow through on it, okay? And they kind of live through other people, which means most of the time, like I said, you're giving them a high voltage or a high amount of energy, so they're feeding off of you. And then with the other person, with that you know, heavier toxic person that they're leaving you for to go, they're feeding off of them because they know they have more energy. They're the bottom feeders. That's basically what most of them are, you know. And some of them are kind of like not bottom feeders, or kind of leeches. They'll leech on, they'll latch onto you, take your energy, latch onto the other person, because they wanna feel accomplished. They want to feel loved, and they want to feel like they have something, but they don't want to, like I said, they don't want to take the time to work on it. So yeah, you want to mirror people, and you want to match their energy, because you don't want to give off anything that doesn't need to be given off. You don't want to drain yourself and deplete yourself and they go about their day all happy. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work, okay? No. So the next thing I need you to do is to find someone who you really admire, and you know that they have done a lot of emotional and mental work on themselves to make themselves better. The more people that you get around in your circle that are like that, the stronger you will be, you know. The stronger you will be, okay? You just can't be, you can't be around filthy and low-level people, mentally, emotionally damaged people, and expect to have this healed life or this healed emotional state. It doesn't work like that, you know? And you will see that the difference, because sometimes we get a little afraid because you see these people and you're like, well, I can't do this, I can't get that way. But we see, once you hang around them enough, you start seeing the difference. You understand that the only difference from being healthy emotionally and spiritually, and being unhealthy emotionally and spiritually, is an effort, is a conscious decision and an effort. Nothing is powerful as a changed mind, okay? I had to work that on myself. I just really had to constantly work on myself with that. I just said, you know what? I might not be the best person ever, you know, in the world. I might not be the best pageant winner. I might not be the best wife or the best mom or anything, but I could be the best Belle, you know, starting today, you know, and do the best. And how I do that, I try to do the best that I can day by day, you know. I might work on a task that I need to do, or something that I know that I want to work on for the long haul, you know, or make goals for what I want to do. Most of the time I was working on goals that I wanted to do, and then how to implement those goals in my life later on. And that, I mean, it took a lot of work. It seemed like it wasn't a lot. It seemed like I was doing nothing when I was doing it, but I can see the manifestation now. Yeah. And a lot of people, and when you get that support, that really good solid foundation, you get around a lot of solid people who've taken that time. It's gonna make you it's gonna promote you and just influence you to do more, and to do more to work on yourself, and to put yourself first. Put yourself and your emotions first, and your health and your well-being, because a lot of us try to put other people's values and things first, and that's how we end up, failing, because we've in the process neglected ourselves. So it's a difference when you're around healthy people. So that will help you drastically. I will tell you this: when I got away from toxic people and started getting more people, and I had this mentor, and I asked for it. It wasn't like a program or something like that. I just know that iron sharpens iron. We're taught that way. So what I did was I got a mentor to help me, and everything that I wanted to do, I got around people who were already in the process, either in the process of doing it, who has done it, and who can guide me, or who is doing it currently. That's all I did. And it helped me. It catapulted me to the place that I wanted to be. It catapulted me. And that's what you want to be. Once you get to that place and you start working on yourself and you start getting better, those people that you're upset about, and those people, those sideways friends, you're not even going to think about them, because and those people can't even stand the weight. They're not going to be able to even hold what you have. They're not going to be able to hold what you have. You know why? Because it takes work. And in order to be two-faced, you got to jump from one spot to another. You have a lot of information, but it's a little bit here and there. You got to go in depth when you're dealing with true friendship, and when you're working on yourself. You got to go in depth. You got to dive under the water. You got to go into the dark side and come back out. That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing when you're working, when you're doing that. You're looking at the lowest of you and trying to make it better, in order to bring yourself to the highest point, and like I said, when you do that, a lot of those people, because for one, they're not working on themselves, and for two, they've taken all their time and their emotions to try to work on other people and to know more about other people than to tap into what they needed to do. So they're not going to be able to gravitate to you. And when they try to come, you're not even going to want them to come once you start working on yourself. I promise you, the same people when I was broken, and I didn't understand I was broken. I just knew something was wrong. I was just messed up. And I was just like, how is this even happening? But I understand now that my spirit was broken, I was just coming across all these people, and I mean, they were doing so much crazy stuff to me. And I was just like, why? What is going on? But I understand it was a lot of brokenness, from past things that I didn't do, and some things that I did do, that I needed to work on. Regardless, I needed to work on. But once I started working on it, it gave me that revelation, and it opened my eyes to say, you know what? I can overcome this. And once I did, you see toxicity, and you see toxic people, and you see those sideways friends, and you're like, you know what? We did have our time, but I understood then it was only a process. You were there, and I don't even take it as a bad thing, because you were there to teach me a lesson. And I thank God I learned that lesson, and I applied it to my life, and I no longer need what you were trying to give me, because they do have things to give you, but they don't. Well, some of them don't. They haven't worked on themselves, so they can't give you something that they don't have. But other people do have certain things. And at that time, you could tell that they weren't willing to give it to you. So, you just got to understand that and remember that. So, if you are going through this, hopefully this will help you in this process. I know that it has helped me tremendously. And when I say tremendously, And it made me feel like I was okay with myself and understand that it's okay to be me. You know, some of these people that I think the biggest issue for me, and I don't know if it's for you guys too, if it is, please leave it in the comments below. But the biggest thing for me was going around people, I'm sorry, little snot, going around people who I thought was in a healthy mental and physical state, and to find out that they were just spiritually and emotionally corrupt, and they were spiritually and emotionally bankrupt. You know, they had all the accolades, they looked the walk, they talked the talk for a little bit, but when it was time to walk it out, they couldn't do it. And not only could they not do it, they were spazzing out during the time, you know. So yeah, I think that was the biggest issue for me. This process has taught me too that don't look at a book by its cover. Sometimes we get mad at other people judging us by the cover, but we all have that where we all judge people by their covers. You know, some of the best mentors and some of the best people I had did not have a college degree. They did not have, well, shoot, my mentors didn't have a college degree at all. She barely made high school, but she knew everything, and she was tapped in tune spiritually to where she was able to see, you know, like it was crazy. The people that helped me, you know, become better. Some of those people were, well, one has, yeah, they have a PhD, but at the time they, you know, when they were my age, they were addicted to drugs, dropped out. They were really messed up. So you want to be open to some things. Now they're recovered, and now, you know, over 30 something years clean, and, you know, PhD, and, you know, a millionaire, that kind of thing. But like I said, you want to be open. Don't judge a book by its cover. And you wouldn't even think, another thing was, you wouldn't even think that this person, some of my mentors, you wouldn't even think that they could be even mentors by how they look. But if you see them interacting and how they answer things and how they go about things, it shows a lot. It shows a lot. So, yeah. So once again, if you guys can relate to that, I hope that I didn't bore you guys, because I know it's about 30 minutes, but I definitely needed to express that, and because I know that a lot of those things that I went through helped me, and had I had this information, you know, I think I would have been better off quicker, you know. But I had to learn it the hard way. You don't have to learn it the hard way. You have it right here. So if this is helping you, great. If you think someone else needs to hear it, definitely share it. Thank you for tuning to Journey to Jerusalem. Hopefully something I said or done will help you on your journey. Yeah, definitely leave in the comments below on what you think about Sideway Friends, and how, if you went and had this experience before, which I know a couple of you have. Just explain it, if you don't mind. Explain a little bit about it, and how some encouraging words for the next person when they go and look on this, you know, because you never know who you might help or who you might inspire going through this whole ordeal we call life. You know, everyone has a story, and every story is a piece to the big puzzle of why we are here. So no one's story is greater than anyone else's, and no one is smaller than anyone else, contrary to what society deems or tells us so. So I would be more than happy if you guys would do that. Once again, hopefully something I said or done will help you on your journey. Please stay tuned to Journey to Jerusalem, and thank you.